Alright, the Red Book of Westmarch here, and with me I have the K2 V2, the Kinetics, essentially fully automatic Kinetics gun, and I wanted to make just a quick review video to show you guys some of its capabilities, because in the room that he was in when he made his video, you couldn't really get a full idea of the range, and so I just wanted to give a quick review video of its range, what are my opinions about it, things like that. So first off, I just want to say the idea of the gun is fantastic. It's one of the coolest guns I'm pretty sure I've ever built. Maybe not. It's not the most powerful or like the coolest functionality, but it is like the coolest mechanism I'm pretty sure that I'll ever build. It's simple. It's almost foolproof. So it's just a really nice gun overall. But that being said, it's not even a gun that I would really consider in taking into like an indoor Kinetics war. Just because of some of the stuff that I'm going to show you. So, first off, we'll talk about comfort. Overall, I must admit that the gun is not that comfortable. This handle, sorry Kinetic, but the handle's really pretty bad. But that may just be me. I have sort of like handles and bodies are my two biggest things. I'm not very innovative, but I like comfortable handles and I like nice looking bodies, and the comfort on this gun is pretty bad. He also suggests that you put this almost attachment bar here, but since this is where you have to grip to shoot the gun, it's really uncomfortable. But both of these are really basic fixes, so you could fix this, but I'm talking about the gun just in general, how he posted it. It's not very comfortable. So that's comfort. We'll talk about looks. Honestly, again, no offense to Kinetic, but I think it's really pretty ugly. But the mechanism totally makes up for that. So if any of you guys are offended by me saying that the gun is ugly, my first thing to say would be get over it. And this next thing to say would be that while it is ugly, it's not handsome in any way. It is efficient. So the mechanism's great, but the body's ugly. And I think it'd be cool for anyone to sort of undertake to make the body better, which I'm sort of thinking about. So that's comfort, that's body. We'll talk a little bit about mechanism. He didn't do an up-close shot, but this is essentially how the mechanism works. You just push, I don't know if you can see the hammer in there, but as you push this forward, the hammer goes back, and it strikes the gun like so. So you can go... That's how fast you can fire this gun. So part of the problem is that the bullets will never rechamber fast enough to be able to fire that fast. So you kind of have to go slowly, and I'm in a weird position to do this. But if you, here, I'll turn it this way though. That's how slow you should probably go. And another thing cool about this gun is if you don't want to fire it, you just want to show how the pump works, you just don't push the handle up like that. Just kind of slide it. Whoops, there goes a band. Whoops. That shouldn't happen. I had two bands on there. Anyways, you don't slide, you just kind of can slide this forward. It's hard to do again at this angle, but if you just want to show how the pump works, you just do that. I have this 117 band on here just to pull the slide back. You don't need that. Alright, so that's me rambling. I might as well take this off so that I can reapply this band. Alright, so now we've talked about comfort, we've talked about the mechanism. You guys have heard me ramble about how it's not that pretty. I'm sure you guys really don't like that, but again, that's just me. So we've talked about all that stuff. Oh, and it has a turret. This is a turret that I like to use personally. It's just like Kinetics. I had no idea he and I like to build turrets the same way, but this is his turret, also known as my turret. I guess you can say that he built it first, so it must be his. I'm not really picky on that score. So you have the gun. Pretty, not really. Comfortable, could be better. Mechanism. The mechanism itself is great. Putting a turret on there is not the best idea. It's the most efficient idea as of yet, but it's not the best idea. I think it'd be better to have some other way of firing the gun. Alright, so that's this sturdiness. That's not a word. Basically, overall, how sturdy is the gun? Well, I don't know if Kinetic runs out of these white rods, but he didn't put them in the gun areas where he could have. So part of the results of that is that the gun is more flexible than any gun I've ever had. And what I mean by flexible is that it can bend really easy, and that's not good. I build guns that, as you guys know, are either replicas or are semi-performance guns is what I like to call them. They're not innovative, they just work well. And this gun is not even half as sturdy as my RMA V.2, also known as the Reliable, which has just recently been posted. Check out my profile on Instructables. You'll find that. And this gun is not as sturdy as most of the guns I've built, and I would say this gun is not as sturdy as some of the guns that Kinetic has built. Maybe he ran out of white rods, but to fix that, just add white rods if you're going to follow his instructions. So, I've talked about all of that. Let's go into range. Now, one of the things I don't like about TR guns is their loading time. Now, some people say, well, I can load a TR really fast. Well, you may be able to, but I just don't see it. So I'm going to load it right now. You guys, I know you guys can't see that, but here, I'll just load it with some oud ammo rounds. And the load process for this gun is also another reason why I would never take it into Connects War. It just takes a long time to load. It'd be like so much better if somebody were to just slap a magazine inside the gun. Alright, give me just a second, 2 more rounds. And then I will show you the range with 2 old size 64s. I'll put on 2 new size 64s, and then I'll take a 117 to show you guys the range. So here are 8 oud ammo rounds, and we are going to turn the camera around. I don't want the camera to jitter too much because apparently YouTube doesn't like that. Alright, so I'm going to point the camera this way since the sun will be directly in our eyes. And then I will fire just 4 oud ammo rounds, and then we'll replace the rubber band. So you take the gun like this, you hold it here. Obviously you hold the handle here. And then I'll sort of reach around the camera without bumping it. And we will go. Alright, so now that I've fired those, whoops, I bumped the camera. I have 4 rounds of oud ammo left. Let's go and see where those landed. Okay, now we are here at this step. If we look that way, I'll go to the farthest round and I'll tell you how far that is. So I fired them this way. Alright, so we've got 2 oud ammo rounds there, 1 oud ammo round here, and 1 oud ammo round here. So from this oud ammo round all the way over to that step is probably a little over 10 feet. That's crappy range. No, again, no offense to Kinetic. His gun is fantastic. Ignore me about looks, range, comfort. The gun is fantastic. Please go and build it. You'll be a better builder for it. But the range is really bad with that band. Okay, so now that we have that band, let's change it up here with... I'll place the oud ammo rounds back, but we've got a 117 band, brand new, just out of the bag. 2 size 64 bands tied together, just like Kinetic says. Alright, so give me a second, this may take a while. These were 2 bands that I used. You can see how stretched out they are. These are 2 bands that I used on my Kinetic gun Reliable. Again, you should check that gun out. I would suggest that you build it. It's not as like reliable, I guess you'd say, as the TR series, but considering that it's been a work in progress for over half a year now, it's a really, really great gun. And I'm actually working currently, hold on, I'm going to have to break the gun a little bit. I'm actually currently working on a 5.56 magazine that has an internal pusher, which has never been done yet. Well, correction, Sharir 1701 did it, but I never saw any pictures, so, which is kind of sad because I love his builds. Alright, give me a second. This takes forever, it's kind of sad. Well, obviously you shouldn't have to do this during a war, but... Alright, so... It's kind of chilly out here, which makes my fingers numb, which makes it even harder to band this baby. Alright, so now I've got it banded. Oh, come on, TR bullets. Get out of the way. Sorry guys, I'm rambling, I know. Alright, so... We're gonna put everything back together now. Alright, I'm coming. I dropped a green rod somewhere. Whoops. There it is. Alright, so we've got the new bands that I'm about to fully add to the gun. And then I'll show you its range with the new bands. Wow, these new bands are hard to stretch. We'll see if the gun can hold up to the new bands, but if the hammer breaks, we'll not go onto the 117 bands because they'll take half an hour. No, not half an hour. It'll take me a while to get to the 117 bands if I have to fix all the gun. Those bands are tight, so I don't even know if this is going to work. I'm highly doubting it, but we will see what goes on here. Alright, so I'm going to take the camera again, turn it like we did before, aim it out that direction, and I'll pump the next 4 oud ammo rounds. and the gun busted. So that just shows you that 2 Seg 64 bands are not the bands to go with, and that is my review of Kinetic's K2 V2.